Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well. So in today's video I wanted to show you guys a little breakdown of how I do my head wraps. Okay, you guys know I have short hair, so my signature is head wraps. And yeah, without further ado, let us get into the first head wrap style. Okay, so we are starting off with this gorgeous head wrap. This is from Turban Kenya on Instagram, and I'm just using the back portion of my hair to start it off, and then now these two sides I am just very gently aligning them to my head. I usually like my turbans not to cover my ears, so I'm just aligning it and making sure that it's the way that I like it to be, just across my ears. And then very slowly I am wrapping the two sides together to form one rope-like structure, if that makes sense. You can make this part as tight or as loose as you want it to be, but for me I like it in the middle, because the tighter you make your head wrap, the more uncomfortable it is, and the looser it is, the more it will come off. So what I'm doing is I'm just wrapping it all around, and I didn't tie the ends. What I'm just doing right now is very nicely tucking in the ends into the little band that I've formed and adjusting the sides, and there we have our first style. So as you can see, side action, oh yeah. And you can use this with any turban that you have, but I would recommend it being a really long turban or head wrap. So for the next style, I just have my wake up on, and I'm using just a normal scarf, and I'm forming it into a ball and then I'm putting it to the top part of my head just to form a little bun, because obviously I have short hair. And then I'm using my other head wrap to just very gently do the same thing that I did in the first thing, but now the only difference would come about when we are doing the bun part. So again, I'm adjusting it to my ears, making sure that it's where I want it to be. And then now I'm taking the sides, and instead of wrapping them across each other, I'm just folding them and then wrapping them across the bun so they can crisscross at the back. And then I bring them forward, and then I tie two little nice knots, and then afterwards tuck them in. This is a way that you can use to just switch up the same hairstyle as the first one, but now instead of like just a bun with the rope knots, we can have this little nice head wrap situation up top. So I'm using this is actually a scarf, it's not a head wrap, so you can always alternate using a head wrap or a scarf or whatever it is that you have, and you'll have the same result. You can also alternate the scarf on top with socks or anything that can just form a nice little ball on top of your head. And this is the second style. Okay, so let's get into this third style. I'm doing the same thing. I'm just taking a scarf and wrapping it into a ball, but now instead of putting it at the beginning part, I'm putting it at the back, just so I look like I have like sort of hair that I've folded at the back. But if you do have hair or braids or whatever that it is that you can be able to wrap to form that little ball at the back, you can definitely do that. And now I'm using just a different turban. This one is actually from Vazi Maridadi. I really love this print. And what I'm doing is the same thing as I did with the other style, is I'm just taking it all the way to the back, and then I'm forming a knot. And then now with the sides of the knot, I am just going to take them all around the bun, and then again form another knot just to make sure that it's secure and that it doesn't come off. And then with the sides, I'm just going to tuck them in. If you have a longer one, you can always do it around and around to as many times as needed, but because this is actually a really short turban, I just tuck them into the side, and this is how it looks like. It's such a beautiful style, especially when you're going minimal with your accessories or with your outfit. It's such a beautiful style. You can style it with some loops or some nice long earrings, and it will look so perfect. So this is style number 3 with the head wraps. Okay, so let us get into the next head wrap style. So this one, it's similar to the first one, but now instead of using one scarf, we're going to be using 2 scarves. The reason being because we want to form 2 even looking balls, and one of my scarves is smaller than the other one, but you can always alternate and use 2 different scarves, but of the same size. So what I'm doing is just forming balls on 2 on two areas, but both of them at the top of my head, and then just tucking everything into my wig cap. So you want to make sure that you have like two balls but of the same size. So the next thing that I'm going to be doing is just taking my head wrap. This head wrap, I also got it from Vazi Maridadi, and it's a beautiful Ankara pattern, but it's a bit short, so that's why it's perfect for this style. And I'm just starting from the back again, and then just adjusting it to cover my ears like 3/4 way, and then just making sure that both sides are well tucked in and that you can't see the edge of the head wrap. And then what you want to do is just very gently and very loosely make a knot at the beginning, as opposed to starting to wrap the two sides together. And then when you make the knot, you can make it as tight or as loose as you want it to be. I like mine fairly loose, but not too tight, because I end up sometimes getting headaches because of how tight it is. And then now with the ends at the back, what we're going to do is just form two nice knots at the back, just to make sure everything is secure. But if you do have a head wrap that is slightly longer than this, I think it would be even better, because this one is pretty short, but even with a short head wrap you can make it work. And then what I'm doing is just tucking in the sides, and this is how it looks like. So this is just the front view, and then the back view. It's basically the same as the first head wrap, but just a different pattern at the top, as opposed to just it being a ball. So yeah, this is our next head wrap style. Yeah. Okay, so let us get into this one. This is actually this is actually one of those styles that it's super easy, super chic to do, but it's also super effortless. So what I'm doing is just taking my head wrap all the way to the back, and then I'm forming a knot at the back. For this head wrap style, you do need your head wrap to be fairly long, or your head scarf, or whatever it is that you're using. And then now with the sides, you're going to form sort of like gathers, or just make sure that it looks nice, so that when you place it across your head, it forms a nice pattern of the head wrap against the pattern of the head wrap. So what I'm doing is just taking that across on top of my head, and then I'm also taking the other side and making sure that I form some sort of gathers, and then just crisscrossing it at the back. And this head wrap is long, but it's not too long. It's not long enough for me to be able to form a knot at the back. So what I'm doing is just very gently tucking in the sides into the head wrap, so that it can be as nice and seamless as possible. And guys, the more you practice on this style, the easier it becomes. I think for me it's just easy because I've been doing it for a lot of years. But don't give up if you try and do it for the first time and then it doesn't work out. Just keep trying and it will come through really well. And this is such a pretty head wrap. Can you imagine like this and like a Sunday dress, and you're going to church with some pretty earrings, some pretty makeup? It's so amazing. And even at the back, it's so simplistic, but it's also very chic and elegant. I really like it. So that is our next head wrap style. All right, so let's get into the next head wrap style. So I'm going to be using the same head wrap, and then just from the back, I'm going to start off from there, placing it from the back, and then making sure that my ears and where it's placed across my head and across my hairline is good. And then what I'm going to be doing, instead of making a knot or making a bun, I'm just going to crisscross the two sides together first, for a first time, and then for a second time. And then now what I'm going to be doing with the sides of it is just to roll it on each side, around and around, just following the natural way of the head wrap, just making sure that you roll it into a nice long ribbon all the way to the back. And make sure to do this as slowly as possible, just so it can be as neat as you would like it to be. And also making sure that it's not too tight, so that you don't have so much tension on your head. And as you get to the back, what you want to do is make a nice even knot, and then with the sides of what remains from the head wrap, just tuck them in and make sure everything is nice and tucked in and neat. You can just go back and adjust to whatever size you want. And if you do have a slightly longer head wrap than this, you can always do this 2 times or 3 times, depending on how long your head wrap is. And this is how it is looking. How cute is this, guys? How cute is this? Yes. And last but finally not least, onto our next head wrap style. So with this one, you're going to need a little bit of a prop. What I'm using here is a carton, just a nice long rectangular carton. And then what I'm doing it is just wrapping my head wrap around the carton once or twice, but my head wrap isn't that big, so I'll just wrap it one time. And then what you want to do is make sure that it goes around your forehead, like so, and then just adjust it to where you want it to be. And then you see up there, you just make sure you tuck some of the material on the inside, just so it looks like a nice neat style. What you want to do is just take the remaining part of the head wrap to the back and then just form a nice knot. Ideally with this head wrap style you don't need the wig cap, but I'll remove it in a later step. But just what you want to do is just tuck it in, and I just tied one knot here, but you can always decide to tie one knot or two knots, and you can also decide to just let it be like that or just form a little bun at the back. It's all dependent on you. So this is how our head wrap is looking. You can use any head wrap, a long one, a short one, whatever you'd like. And this is how it looks at the back. Obviously you want to comb your hair at the back because a bit of your hair is going to be seen. And that is the end of the video.